Alrighty, so we just got the first look at least the information that will be coming to us tomorrow at Gamescom. We just got through the part of the live show where they are presenting Diablo 4. First off, we have Joanna Faris right here in just the most killer, absolute brat Gamescom summer outfit ever. I love these pink cargo pants. But we got a sneak peek at what mercenaries are going to look like in general, what they looked like in gameplay, and a bit of the lore behind them. So it looks like, and I'll just skip ahead to it and then we can watch it together. Here, you know, we'll just let it play. And if you didn't catch this live, you'll be able to watch it here at the very least.
Suffering.
I love this animation style that they have.
Horror. This is the road we know in Sanctuary. However, some of us have taken a different path.
When we were first seeing this here,
Bound by secrecy, ready to stand and fight for those who seek us out.
first off, where's that thing? I want to fight whatever that is.
There was a time we fought the vilest of Sanctuary.
You fools get uglier and uglier.
Very cool backstory for each one of the different character types.
Only our inner demons. But the
This right here had big, like, Darkest Dungeon style feel to it for me. I really like this part of the animation.
hatred has pulled us back into the light.
Your blood feeds my blade!
And though we now wait, watching from the shadows, we cannot escape who we are. Why we fight.
Please, no! Stay away!
Or the fury that burns within us.
Love Johnny Blaze there, the demon kid.
I have your back.
I'm with you!
So we're looking at mercenaries fighting alongside heroes here. So a Necro in the middle of that protective shield.
See it, shoot it.
A lot of them using completely unique abilities, but like that grizzled barbarian just very clearly did upheaval.
Strength in numbers.
And unironically, this shield bearer character here having a lot of very paladin type effects. So he has the big shield where he does the protective bubble over you. He just did the shield toss like from Diablo Immortal.
I am your guardian.
I am your redemption.
I am your vengeance! I am your rage!
We are the Pale Hand, and we are the reason you need never fight alone.
So cool there, the Pale Hand, whatever secret society these are a part of. A bit of the story, this concept of like they came back out of hiding. So I'm almost wondering if they're supposed to be like residual Nephilim that survived Diablo 3 storyline. I don't know. I don't know where you're going to get this secret society, but I love them. The grasping hands meme, it's kind of like solo players and min-max group players all get to have another companion with them. So that was what we saw of the mercenaries. So much more engaging than mercenaries like in Diablo 2, right? So they're using very distinct abilities here. AoE type effects, mass clear type effects, large like survival things, utility pulls, pixel pulls as well, range DPS. So it's almost certainly going to be that individual mercenary styles are going to offset the weaknesses of certain builds. I personally hope that they're not like so required for gameplay that like builds don't exist without the mercenaries. I don't think that there's any way that we actually avoid that moving forward, but I have some reservations about mercenaries in general in the game. But at the very least, their skill sets look very unique and interesting, and I like how they're differently built out. I think everybody is going to want to use this weird demon boy cockatrice satyr monster looking dude right here, because obviously he has a cool werebear form, or like were demon form for that matter. Reminds me a lot of Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. But the effects look fairly cool. We didn't get a lot more information. I think the important thing to note is that Xbox recently posted this, or I'm sorry, actually posted a couple days ago, and I never saw this, but on Wednesday, August 21st, so tomorrow, we're going to get a lot more information in Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, and they brought out Brent Gibson to talk about what we're going to be seeing. So that's going to be going live at 9 a.m. ET. So that is on the East Coast here, 9 a.m. for me. I'm going to be at work, so I'm going to have to come back to this and see it after. But let's listen to Brent talk about the types of things that we can be expecting, just so you have a better idea there. Oh, also, buying the Ultimate Edition of Diablo 4 gets you these sick new Demon Wing cosmetics. So we now have Angel Wings and Demon Wings. I assume we're going to be getting a lot more of that. And it's decked out in the Spiritborn paid cosmetic here as well, obviously. But let's go ahead and listen to Brent.
Sneak peek.
Of course, and it's my esteemed pleasure to introduce Brent Gibson, Game Director of Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred.
We love Brent. Brent is an absolute Giga Chad. He outlord me.
The team
He's a great dude.
So proud that Diablo 4 is the type of game that has something for all gamers. And in Vessel of Hatred, it's no exception. We are hard at work at adding new ways to play and new ways to grow in power. Like mercenaries. Ordinary people with extraordinary skills that you can...
All right, take away the speculation that I just said where there's secretly Nephilim. Let me also turn him up a little bit here. But ordinary people, he says.
Hire to fight alongside you in your battle against hell. We're also adding the Kurast Undercity, an all-new multi-layered dungeon that gives you the control on the types of challenges you're going to see, as well as the rewards you may get.
So Kurast Dungeon is not something that we had heard of before. Playing the Spiritborn and traveling around in the new region, when we got that opportunity, when we flew out to Washington, you get to the Kurast Bazaar, which is renovated over and becomes like the primary hub city, as far as I can tell, in the new region. The Kurast Dungeon, though, I assume is either underneath there, and sounds like some kind of like modular pick your poison style of dungeon, which is what I was expecting to be in the raids. But then we also find out that this is not the raids because the Dark Citadel. We'll talk about this in a second.
And we also have the Dark Citadel, our brand new co-op PvE dungeon that challenges everything you know about combat in Diablo through a gauntlet of multiplayer puzzles and mechanics. We're talking about all of it right here at Gamescom. And so stay.
So he doesn't actually give any more information. I assume it's going to be during tomorrow's live stream where we'll actually see that. So this idea of the Dark Citadel being what we've all been pretty casually referring to as the raid content, a gauntlet type content with multiplayer puzzle solving. So multiplayer puzzle solving reminds me a lot of Destiny and the raids in Destiny. So hopefully they're interesting enough where it's not just everybody stands on a pedestal or, you know, that's all I can really think of you being able to do in Diablo, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So I'm excited or interested to see what that style of like puzzle solving would look like in the game. If you've never been down into the cellars in Diablo 4, there's a bunch of cellars. You typically don't go into them because they're very low value, but they started adding very minor styles of puzzles into those cellars that you may have never seen before. But the interesting thing is how much you can really communicate to a player base as far as the fast action style of Diablo 4 and expect players to be able to communicate first and foremost, which will require comms at the very least, I assume, because people like typing is not really going to work out there. But how intricate can they really be without like vastly interrupting the flow of Diablo's game style? So I'm interested to see how they have managed to breach that like issue between those two ideas, like Diablo 4's game style and actually getting the Diablo 4 player base to, one, be able to go in and play with complete randos the majority of the time if you're not in a clan, and actually get these things done and communicate. What I'm also hoping to hear, and you know, this is just me mostly speculating, is to that exact problem, how are people going to group up for this style of content, both the new Kurast dungeons as well as the Dark Citadel raid? So are we going to get a group finder? Am I actually going to be able to like go into a menu and not just use players nearby to be able to communicate better? Something that's really going to have to be beefed up for this type of content to be successful, or at least the first major hurdle I consider in getting the majority of the player base to participate in group gameplay. So we're excited to hear about it. Obviously, by the time I come back from work, a lot of people are already going to have broken the news, but I'll be covering that as well. So look forward to that. And yeah, I'm excited. They did a really good job here. And I basically just hope they knock it out of the park, because they did a great job with Season 4. There's a lot of good stuff in Season 5, but the hype didn't necessarily carry over because we just got done with the season, it felt like, and then we're immediately into the next season. But for season 6, which starts with the expansion, I'd really like to get a lot of like fresh new people into the game, getting a lot of people playing it and breaking it down and figuring it out and theory crafting and all of that. So hopefully Gamescom is a huge success for them, and we can all kind of walk into the expansion with a lot of hype behind it, because Diablo 4 has done an amazing job getting us to here, where I think the majority of people are mostly happy with the game, and I'd love to see them just kind of crank it up to the next level there. But there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope that that brought you whatever information that we were able to kind of suss out of what they've shown us here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.